Well, hey, I had a good prediction on the next one. The Broncos are hiring Sean Payton. Get that man a winter coat. Let's go to the cold weather. Let's get after it, old Sean Payton. He's a warm weather guy. Yeah, there's this thing called heat. He's fine.
Two things.
This one was on the board, right? Didn't we bet a bottle on this one? I feel like
you guys were right. But
what was that? Hold on. Let me hear it again.
You and AJ were correct.
It sounds so good. One more time, just for the record. Ooh, do it again.
Y'all were correct.
Do it again. Give me one.
Y'all were correct.
Very nice.
I'm gambling again.
On this episode of Bustin' Chops and Calling Shots, John and I talk all things Patrick Mahomes and his playoff win. Tua finally clears concussion protocol after 6 weeks. Waiting to see what type of long-lasting effects from his concussions this year. Texans hired Damico as their next head coach. AJ and I called it. Sean Payton headed to the Denver Broncos. We talk about all things Tom Brady, his amazing career, how we'll never see anything like it again with his retirement announcement today. We give you a little Busch Clash preview in NASCAR, and John gives you some tips in his betting corner.
You want to bet? I don't bet. What do you mean you don't bet? I mean, I don't bet.
You're listening to Bustin' Chops and Callin' Shots.
All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Back for another episode. Sorry I missed Sunday, but I had to watch my Chiefs punch their ticket to the Super Bowl. I heard a lot of disrespect about Patrick Mahomes on the last episode, so I thought I'd wear the Mahomes jersey tonight, try to clear some things up. What more does the guy got? What more does the guy got to do? Honestly, like, what more does he have to do?
What this?
He is by far the best quarterback playing football in the NFL right now.
I think by far is a huge statement.
Not even
you're
close.
Right. I think you're riding the wave of your
not
emotion.
Even close. Not even close.
Okay, go ahead. I'll let you have your moment. Go.
No,
keep going. Get it
I
all
don't understand. So he's punching his ticket to his third Super Bowl since he's been in the league for 5 years. Been to 5 straight AFC title games. Hosted all of those. He's going to be a 2-time MVP. I think he wins this Super Bowl. What's the guy got to do? Joe Burrow was playing against 5 rookies in the secondary against the Chiefs.
2 offensive linemen.
With the best receiving core in football.
Against
the best receiving core in football.
Best defensive lineman in football.
With the best receiving core in football.
I get it. Pat Mahomes has never had a bad game. He's never thrown a ball 4 yards short of the end zone instead of chucking it out of bounds at the end of a half.
I'm not saying he hasn't had a bad game. But Joe Burrow is not in Patrick Mahomes' league.
Well, yeah, he is, because Pat Mahomes fumbled the ball and almost cost him the game, Chop. If you wait a second.
No.
We bet the Chiefs. I like Mahomes. He's a big fan.
I don't think you do.
Here's my problem. Well, my problem is you deep-throat him every time we get on the show.
Facts, man.
We can be talking about NASCAR, and somehow Pat Mahomes gets in the discussion. We can talk about hockey, and all of a sudden 15 comes in the conversation.
That's not true.
Let's get something very, very clear.
Go ahead.
I love you with all my heart and soul.
No.
But Pat Mahomes did not win that game. Let's just be clear about that. That defense won that game.
Hey, that defense played great.
They played elite.
They did. I'm not taking anything away from them.
And they saved Pat Mahomes' arse because he fumbled the ball like a jelly donut. Like freaking Josh Johnson, who's been with 13 teams in 12 years. The same thing. Shotgun. It was the same fumble. Don't argue it.
Here's your question.
We got that beautiful bean footage.
The question was, is 80% Patrick Mahomes enough to beat Joe Burrow? Now we know it is. It's enough.
Oh,
doesn't need to be 100%.
Jesus. So have your moment. Take your victory.
Hey, 29 of 43, 326, 2 touchdowns.
He played great.
When the game was on the line and he needed to go win it, even on a bad ankle, I got it. I'll run for it. Don't worry. We'll take care of business.
He did. He went and ran for it.
What Joe Burrow do?
Thank God they didn't call the holding call on Hendrickson when he almost got Mahomes on that one before he left the pocket.
Don't get on the whole ref thing.
I shot off on social media and said people needed to leave the ref stuff alone. I'm just saying, let's not act for a second like that. And he played a very good game. He played. Let me finish.
No, go ahead.
He played twice as good as Burrow did. Mm-hmm. I'm not denying any of that. All I'm telling you, brother of mine, do not come on here and act like he had a Joe Montana, Tom Brady-esque playoff game, because he looked like dog shit too.
I don't think he looked like dog shit at all.
All right, there was a lot of chucked up throws that people like Valdez-Scantling saved his arse.
Really?
Just saying.
You got to talk about the guy being down his top 4 receivers on a bad ankle. Come on, man.
Again, he played a good game. Are you saying he's more responsible for the win than Chris Jones? Are you going to say that right now?
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying he's way better than Joe Burrow.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
So here's my thing with Patrick Mahomes that I think because of how he plays and what we've seen out of him in his first 5 years in the league, we're spoiled, right? If he doesn't go out, no look passing, throwing touchdowns with his left hand, we're like, he had an okay game. Because we expect amazing things out of him now, right? We expect the things we've never seen before. We've been spoiled. So now when he has a great game, we're like, it was okay. I mean, he didn't do anything spectacular. I don't know. Do you think any other quarterback that's playing football right now could have played and won in the same circumstances he did on Sunday?
Yeah, the greatest that ever played that retired today. So
you think Brady with a high ankle sprain and no receivers would have won that game? Because if you think that, you're out of your mind.
Dude, I saw him win 7 Super Bowls with a bunch of short white dudes. Don't even start that. Listen, today
there would be no shot he would have won that game.
Listen,
look,
today is not the day.
No,
because I know
Tom Brady's the GOAT.
No.
I got it.
Yeah, you're right. And just say Pat Mahomes will never come close.
No, nobody will.
Thank you.
We've talked about that multiple times.
All I'm saying is about Pat Mahomes, he played great. I'm a Chiefs fan. They cashed a nice double unit for us. They cashed another double unit on the teaser. And I get it. You're full of piss and vinegar right now, feeling good. So I'm letting you have your moment. So was that Chiefs defense.
They heard all that chatting all week that the Bengals couldn't keep their mouths shut. And what happened?
You sound like a Philly fan right now.
Hey, Chiefs defense came to play. Chiefs defense came to play.
Okay, they did. That's why they won the game. But 2 things. A, don't come on here and make it sound like he's 8 times better than Joe Burrow, because you know deep down that's a lot.
Nah, at least 5, though.
Oh, my God.
What? Look, Joe Burrow is a great quarterback. Josh Allen is a great quarterback. They're not in Mahomes' league. Hey, your boy Colin Cowherd summed it up. Mahomes, by far the best quarterback in the NFL. I think Cowherd said he's the best quarterback I've seen in the game right now. That's what he said. That's your boy, right?
People used to tell me Jeff George had the best arm that ever came through the league.
Well, that's a little much, Jeff George.
I'm just saying. People say outlandish stuff all the time. Pat Mahomes.
Are you not saying he's not the best quarterback in the league right now?
I'm saying he's the best quarterback in the league. I don't think I've ever said that. All I said was Joe Burrow was below him.
I think it's a little more than
I don't think it's more than okay? I mean, let's keep this in perspective. It's still 3-1 Burrow. But again,
I'm not saying it's not.
But again, you have every right to be high on the hog right now. Look, if the Redskins even made the playoffs, I'd be talking trash like you are, and you made it to the Super Bowl. So I'm not hating on you. But I will say this, not to, rain on your Busch Light party parade you got.
Man, where'd the Busch Light thing came? I was
Aren't
drinking
you
Guinness.
Just a little bit scared of that Philly D right now?
No, I'm not.
You're not at all scared of that defensive pass rush.
Not right now, I'm not.
You will not right now because you haven't saw him beat him around like a bit. Because I remember the last time Pat Mahomes was in a Super Bowl, he ran for his life against a defense that's not as good as this one.
I think the offensive line for Kansas City is much better than it was.
Is that because of Orlando Brown, who you come on this show and talk about how great he is? It's protecting Mahomes.
It's not because of Orlando Brown.
Because look, you're going to
It's because Creed Humphrey. It's that mullet. Yeah, that's what it is.
I like Humphrey, but Orlando Brown's got to deal with Hassan Reddick. And in case nobody's noticed, I don't know how he got overlooked over Micah Parsons, but he's the defensive player of the year.
He's very good. Very good.
So I'm not concerned. At all worried.
No, not.
Okay. What's the final score then?
Why would you ask me that now? I got some time to think about
Because
it.
you're all jacked up on Mountain Dew, Paul. That's why.
I think Chiefs 34, Philly 34-24.
Okay.
Here's why I say that, right?
Because we just bailed you out of the clink
No.
for wearing Mahomes' jockstrap.
No. I think the Chiefs get healthy, right? I think they get some offensive toys back. Defense is playing well. My question mark for the Chiefs is going to be whether Snead can get back. Dude's had like 2 concussions this year, had one last year, so I'm worried about that a little bit. Although
if they don't have
the
Snead
young
back,
corners,
they're giving up way more than 24. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. I would say for me, it's going to be Mahomes against Hurts, right? I think both these offenses can score some points. I think it's going to come down to quarterback play.
Well, Hurts hasn't impressed me.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody's talking about when they
don't
ran him 3 straight times, he came up wincing each time.
Yeah, we don't know. We haven't seen Hurts in this situation before, right? We've seen Mahomes. So for me, if you're going to go quarterback against quarterback, I'm taking Mahomes every day. Like, I can't. If this game gets into a shootout, Hurts loses. I don't think he can go score for score because I haven't seen it. Now, I may be wrong. The run game of Philly scares me a little bit because the Chiefs, although they played great against the run against Cincinnati, and Cincinnati just abandoned it altogether, historically against the run, they're not great. Willie Gay got hurt. That's going to be, is he going to come back 100%? So I have some question marks there, but I would say Philly's run game worries me way more than Hurts beating the Chiefs worries me. Not a knock on Hurts. I think he's had a great season. I think he's a great player. The running game scares me more.
There's been one guy that's been really quiet this whole playoffs, and if Snead ain't playing, I would look at him as a dark horse for Super Bowl MVP, and that would be A.J. Brown, because they got nobody that can cover him.
Yeah. Well,
they got nobody that can cover that man, and he has been quiet as a mouse through the first 2 games of the playoffs.
Yeah, Snead worries me. And
if the
Willie
Chiefs
Gay
don't have
worries me.
Snead, if the Chiefs don't have Snead, A.J. Brown, I think it's plus 170 to score a touchdown. You might as well book that.
Yeah.
I'm not a prop guy, but you might as well ride that to the bank.
Yeah. I would agree with
because he's
that.
going to show up in this game.
Snead's
this is why
be
he
a
came
huge
to Philly.
piece. Yeah, the Chiefs got to get healthy. I mean, you lost Tony, you lost Schuster, you lost Hardman, you lost Gay, you lost Snead.
Well, look, again, Cincinnati's defense has been really good, but I think I had even told you that they had been overhyped all year long.
Yeah, you did say that.
Okay. But I'll tell you this, Kansas City has no shot down their top 2 or 3 wide receivers.
No.
All right? Because, again, I don't think Travis Kelce, I know everybody say that he's got the advantage over the Eagles linebackers.
I think his back affected him a lot more in that Cincinnati game.
His brother's on the other side. Kelce ain't going to go off for 14 catches. That just is not going to happen.
No.
Somebody else is going to have to beat Philly. So if Tony and Hardman aren't healthy,
and Schuster,
it's going to make it extremely difficult.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that.
I mean, because the Eagles are way better than the Bengals on defense.
Yep.
Way better.
Mm-hmm.
Way, way better.
Yep. And I'm interested to see. I mean, obviously we knew Mahomes wasn't going to go into that game 100%. He's got 2 weeks now to get that ankle back. How close to 100%? He's not going to be 100%. How close can he get, though? Can he get closer to 100 than he was this past week? Chiefs got a lot of question marks. The injury bug really bit them. I mean, I was sitting there watching, and the wide receivers just kept dropping one right after the other. Watson didn't even suit up, so he was really down his top 4 receivers, and made MVS look like a superstar.
Top 4. MVS is in the top 4. It's probably his 3rd best. Let's just be real.
MVS, I mean, he hasn't played. I mean, he hasn't done a ton this year.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know if you saw this. As I was texting, you were probably sipping on Busch Light, or maybe this is when you got
I was drinking Guinness in the tailgate.
Or maybe this was when you got arrested for stealing Mahomes' jockstrap in the locker room. That I had to bail you out. It did, folks. Don't let him lie.
It didn't happen. I was on the field pregame. I will say, one of the coolest sports experiences of my life. I got to be down there for pregame introductions. I got to help hold American flag, down there for the flyover. I thought it was loud. I thought Arrowhead was loud from my seat. At field level, you can't hear anything. It is deafening. Like, I cannot imagine playing in that sustained noise for any amount of time. It's just insanely loud. But one of the coolest experiences. Got to watch the defense run out, introduced. I got to watch Mahomes and Kelsey walk right past me.
We actually didn't have to grab you.
No,
from, like,
we came off the sideline after holding like the flag, and like all the Bengals players were lined up there. Dude, just huge monsters. I mean, being down there, they're 6'6", 6'7", 6'5", got just monsters. So it was a really cool experience. The flyover from the field was just amazing. I was soaking it all in. I'll have to send you a picture from the like TV somebody sent me in Chelsea. You can see us.
Back to more important things. I had a big parlay going, $50 to win $8,200. The only thing that was left was Sky Moore to score a touchdown. And when he was running that punt back, I was on the back of my recliner.
I'm sure you were. He had two really good returns. And
yeah, when's the last time he scored a touchdown? When he played at Western Michigan?
No, he scored a touchdown or two this year. But see, they had him as punt and kickoff return, but he had some fumble issues. So they took him away from it. In this game, Andy Reid was
had a big fumble issue. He fumbled away $8,200 for me.
Said we're putting him back in, and he had two great returns that really, really helped the Chiefs. I mean, honestly, just a team effort from the Chiefs. I thought they played extremely well. And that defense, we talked about it at certain times throughout the year, like they had shown flashes that the defense could be good. Against the Bengals, they were very good. Very good.
AJ, would you like to chime in on this epic, historic performance that we've never seen out of a team that the Chiefs displayed and that we will never see out of an NFL team again, according to Captain Arrowhead himself?
I think they deserve a little more respect than what you're giving them. That's all I'm saying.
I did after the game. I'm over it now.
I think, you did actually, and I think
him so much.
I gave him the respect that I think they were due for that game. I think they played well, and I think the defense was, lights out, and I think the backups, if you want to call them that, you stepped up, and I think your point, John, earlier, the running game, and Josh, I think you made this point a couple episodes ago that the running game really needs to get figured out. Like, if this game is tight, it's going to come down to who's running the ball better. And right now, it looks like the Eagles are running the ball better. So,
and that's the part of Philly that scares me. They're running
right. So no, I think it was a good. They played a good game, and I think I made a comment that Patrick, didn't have anything, extraordinary like he usually does, and John, sort of harassed me for it a little bit, but because he did have a good game. Though. But it was gutsy and I think for what he did on that ankle, I think was impressive. So,
because you could tell I mean, there were times you could tell it was really, really hurting him.
Gutsy?
Yeah.
No,
gutsy.
That's what you're supposed to do. Somebody go out there and tell Brock Purdy that's what he should have did.
So let's actually talk. Old Brock Purdy got a lot of hate on this last episode, and come to find out, he tore his UCL. That's why he couldn't throw more than 5 yards.
They're asking for a second opinion. Look, he was throwing the ball on the sideline. He could have threw screen passes. All right? He didn't come to play. It is what it is.
Buddy, he's literally missing a ligament from his arm because it's torn, and you want him to go out there and throw 40-yard bombs.
He threw a nice slant to Debo. I didn't see it hurting then. He was laughing and cutting up in the huddle with Kittle.
I'm sure it hurt a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure when Hassan Reddick blows you up, it hurts.
Yeah. I think you gave him far too much hate before we knew exactly what the injury. I mean,
no, I didn't.
He's most likely going to need Tommy John. It's just
regardless, he still threw the ball. This is all I'm saying. There are guys, I mean, look, the game is different. I grew up in a different time than you did.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw Brett Favre play with broken bones high ankle sprains. I saw Tom Brady just a few years back against old Saxonville with his hand all cut up where he couldn't grip a ball. John Elway couldn't even walk at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning couldn't throw a 10-yard slant in that Super Bowl with the Panthers. But when you're a guy that knows you got to give just a little or you got to give a lot like Favre and Elway did, you do what you got to do. I'm sorry that Purdy's hurt. I didn't say he was faking an injury. I'm just saying after he came out and threw the slant and then threw the screen pass, you could have played through that pain. Even if you already knew you were messed up, the team needs you and you're in the NFC Championship. Guess what? Your arm's already jacked. Figure it out to get through the game and try to will your team to the best way you can.
What's that? What if that's the only two he had in that arm left? Like,
yeah, I think
could he have thrown more?
That's like, a good point.
Like when you tear that ligament, when it's gone,
be a man and tell Shanahan you got to go Wildcat. Don't be out there just to make it look good for everyone. Is it Brock Purdy's choice to come off the field? That's a Kyle Shanahan choice.
Right? I saw him talking to Shanahan and telling him. I mean, it looked like he was telling him. Yeah.
Not if he's that injured.
I don't know if they should have run the Wildcat.
Play.
I mean, why didn't you put McCaffrey in the Wildcat?
Well, me and AJ said that, or you.
I would have put.
He was. I mean,
yeah, I would have put McCaffrey in the Wildcat. He's played that.
And here's the other thing. I'll circle back to, and I'll be fair about it. I'll even throw Bryce Young, who I love. I think he would be great for a franchise. But whether it's Bryce Young, Tua, Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts is muscular, so it's a little different. But they run him way too much. His career will be shortened. Drew Brees is the only, two. Drew Brees and Doug Flutie are the only two small quarterbacks I've ever seen have long, sustained success.
Yeah.
Again, Hassan Reddick, Chris Jones, Lawrence Taylor's, Reggie White's, Jared Allen's back in the day. Who's the dude in Myles Garrett, TJ Watt. I can only assume it hurts like hell when those dudes hit you.
Yeah, I don't want to experience that.
Yeah. And especially when your body's not meant to bend and turn certain ways.
Yeah.
So again, something, talk about my boy Cowherd. I do listen to him all the time. Something that Sean Payton said when he was talking about Bill Belichick or talking about Bill Parcells. And I think I said on the show, in the first round, you don't draft potential. You have to draft prototypes.
Yeah.
So for a quarterback, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", big kid, big arm. There's a reason why. Because these little fast guys or these short guys that are accurate, being accurate's great. And everybody used to say, well, they can't see over the line. That was always the thing with Breeze and Flutie, but they figured it out. It's these young guys can't get rid of the ball quick enough and take a beating. And so, even though what happened today with Brady, Brock Purdy's career as a starting quarterback is over.
Yeah.
Won't happen again.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he needs full-blown Tommy John.
Because
what does that look like at that point?
Not even before the Tommy Jones. People like Cosell and guys that study people. And, I just heard Carson Palmer the other day talking about all the deficiencies of Brock Purdy and breaking down film of him. Again, everybody's wrapped up in the 7-0. The 49ers are just that good.
Yeah.
Didn't have nothing to do with Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not saying the kid played bad or didn't have a hand in the wins, but let's not act like the kid came in there like
slinging
Dan Marino and was just slinging it all over the yard. I mean,
absolutely.
you got McCaffrey, who, if he can stay healthy, is a Hall of Famer. You got Kittle, who's a Hall of Famer. You got Dynamic. You got Trent Williams, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer on protecting your blind side.
Yep.
Fullbacks get no credit anymore, but Juszczyk might be the best fullback since Lorenzo Neal or Tom Rathman. So let's not act like the kid. I mean, the table's set.
I agree with you. I
So-
think the 49ers, though, they're in trouble because he's
Well,
hurt.
they're in trouble because they're going to roll.
Garoppolo's leaving.
They're going to roll with Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, and they're not going to get their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The only thing San Francisco can do with Brady retiring is find out a way to get Aaron Rodgers. And if Green Bay is sold on they're not trading him to the NFC, which if you're Green Bay now, I think Green Bay's front office needs to eat crow and backtrack real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, I don't know why you would even consider trading Brady or trading Rodgers, rather.
Yeah.
Because after Brady retires today, who's the best quarterback guys in the NFC? I'll open it up to either of y'all. Give me your top 3 quarterbacks in order in the NFC. I'll Chop, you can go first, or AJ, I don't care, either one. Because I did this exercise at 5:30 in the morning on the treadmill this morning, and it blew my mind.
I mean, God, the NFC's not quarterback.
Jalen Hurts is in the top 3 for sure.
Well, give me your top 3. They don't have to be in order. So Jalen Hurts, AJ. Who's your other 2?
All right, my other 2. Let's see. Man,
do you want to go division by division, boys? Would that be easier for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
So the NFC East, we got Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott, and Carson Wentz / Tyler Heineke. Any of those you want to put in the top 3?
Yeah, I'll put Hurts in the top 3 there.
You'll put Hurts? Chop, would you like to put any of those?
No, not yet.
All right,
definitely not Dak.
NFC West, Trey Lance or Brock Purdy, Matt Stafford, Kyler Murray, and Geno Smith. Would do any of those intrigue you to put?
Hey, you're missing one. You're missing one that I'm thinking about putting in my top 3.
I said
Jimmy
Kyler,
Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's okay. Well, we'll wait on Garoppolo. I'll give Garoppolo as a side because he ain't going back to San Francisco. But
okay,
I'll give Stafford as a top 3.
Okay,
Ooh.
so you got Hurts, or AJ's got Hurts. You got Stafford.
Yep.
All right. So each of y'all got one quarterback with 2 divisions to go. The NFC South, Darnold or whoever the Panthers roll out there, Winston or whoever the Saints roll out there, Blaine Gabbert or whoever else the Buccaneers roll out there.
Yeah, my last 2 are Rodgers and Cousins.
Or who's the other team? The Falcons with Ridder.
Mariota.
Do any of those intrigue you?
No.
All right, so let's do the NFC North. Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff.
Yeah, Cousins and Rodgers are my other 2. So top 3, Rodgers, Cousins, and Stafford.
And you, AJ?
You wouldn't put Jalen Hurts in your top 3 for the NFC
It's in my top 4, but I wouldn't put him in top 3 probably.
over Kirk Cousins?
No, I wouldn't.
All right.
See, I had Jalen Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, and Jared Goff.
I agree with Aaron Rodgers.
Goff?
I think. Jimmy
But just think about
Garoppolo's-
how that sounds.
Hurts. Here's my thing with Hurts, right? I like Jalen Hurts a lot. But Jalen Hurts, I haven't seen him really stand in the pocket and quarterback, right? Sling it. He does a lot of stuff with his legs. So if I'm talking about pure top 3 quarterbacks, then I'd have to go Rodgers, Cousins, and Stafford.
I don't know if that was a question. I think we're the top 3, right?
Yeah, top
You can't
3.
put
That's what I'm saying.
you can't
That's what I'm
put
saying,
Lamar
top 3
Jackson.
quarterbacks.
Yeah, not true traditional quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't like the
you can't put
traditional quarterback thing.
You can't put Lamar Jackson in a conversation in one side and then not put Jalen Hurts in the other.
Because
I wouldn't put Lamar in my top 3 in the AFC.
A lot of people have. A lot of people.
Mahomes isn't a traditional quarterback.
I mean, he's really good from the pocket, buddy.
Yeah,
no, he does his best work outside of the pocket. I'm not saying he's a running quarterback.
But he's this year he was the most efficient quarterback from inside the pocket. So
God,
but traditionally he has those moments.
What?
Why did I do it to myself?
Look, Patrick Mahomes
Why
doesn't
did I do
have
it?
to generate everything with his legs. He can stand in the pocket and throw it 40 times a game.
Okay,
400 plus yards.
so
and
back to the scene.
Do I
of
think
the
Jalen
crime.
Hurts can do that? I'm not sure. I haven't seen it.
Again, you found a way to get Mahomes in the conversation.
You brought it up.
we were talking about the NFC.
You
and
brought it
still
up.
he
I
finds a
didn't.
way.
You brought it up. I didn't.
So
I didn't say his name.
So when you look at that, if you're Green Bay, and Green Bay is actually the ones that has came out that they're the ones that want to move on.
Do you not like my top three? I thought they were.
There's
you
no
could-
way I'm putting noodle arm Matt Stafford in there.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Look. I think Matt Stafford's been overrated his whole career. I like him a lot, but he's had empty stats his whole career. He might get to the playoffs again just because, I mean, the whole NFC's a California forest fire.
The NFC's not good.
I mean, I heard today somebody
You
saying
think Goff's better than Stafford, though?
at this stage of his career, yeah. More durable, more accurate. If you really look at it, he's won more games in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So, and here's the other
Now
thing.
you got me thinking.
Here's the other thing. I heard some guys today saying Kyler Murray could be in their top three. Which I
Not a
think's absurd.
snowball's chance in hell.
Hell no.
But
He's
if
not.
you,
They said
but-
what, halfway through the season?
but if you look at it, I'm just trying to point out, as weak as the NFC is, don't you guys agree that Green Bay needs to take a good hard look at? Okay, maybe we're not ready to move on to Jordan Love because the NFC's wide open.
I don't think Rodgers at this point leaves the Packers.
All indications is he is,
He's not. I don't. See
and
it.
it's because of them, not him.
Yeah.
They want to move on.
Well, they're stupid.
Well,
Rodgers versus Jordan Love. Is this even a conversation that needs to be had? Really?
well,
Nothing
there's
against Jordan
disconnect.
Love. I'm sure he's a great kid. I'm just saying, are we really having this conversation? Are they really having this conversation?
Again, had Brady have stayed and went to the 49ers, then I could see Green Bay wanting to move on, right? Because they do have to figure out if Jordan Love's the guy or not, because he's a free agent after this coming year.
He's
His
not the
rookie
guy.
deal's up.
He's not the guy.
You don't know that. You wasted a first-round pick on him, though.
I have a pretty good idea he ain't the guy.
Okay.
I'm just
All right.
saying
So
he's not the guy.
So it's interesting now. If you're San Francisco, what do you guys do?
Beg Jimmy Garoppolo to stay.
Kyle Shanahan said today he
I
sees
did
no
see that.
way. Yeah.
It's on my list. Yeah. I mean,
Are they really going to trot in with Trey Lance again?
I think so.
Where do they
I think
pick? Is he? But is Trey Lance going to be ready for the season? Like, is he?
He'll be ready for training camp. But I didn't know this, AJ. I thought it was a surgery. He's had multiple surgeries on
Yeah.
this thing.
2 or 3.
No, but I think Shanahan is look, I think he's brilliant, but I think he's pretty high on himself and thinking that he can looking at what he did with Purdy, he can get Trey Lance where he needs him to be.
I mean, I'll say
and
Trey Lance,
maybe he's right, maybe
obviously,
he's not.
The injury, he didn't have a fair shake, right?
No, yeah.
So you don't really know what you're going to get. I mean, the first couple games he played, be honest, it wasn't great. But he's young.
Do you think we'll look back and say John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan were dynamic and built something great, but never got the Super Bowl because they were too arrogant and couldn't pick up the phone and make the deal for a Rodgers or a Lamar Jackson? Let me ask you this.
Yeah,
Let me ask you
probably.
this.
Mhm.
If Derek Carr's the starting quarterback of that team, do they go to the Super Bowl?
This year?
I mean, they make a deep playoff run.
Or next year?
Yeah, I think they're in the. I mean, they make a playoff run. Do I automatically put them in the Super Bowl? No, but I.
Well, I
Do they
mean,
have
they
a
got
chance
to
to-
the NFC Championship game with Brock Purdy. You're saying Brock Purdy is better than Derek Carr?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I don't know why everybody hates on Derek Carr.
I'm not hating on Derek Carr. I'm just saying it's hard. If you would have asked me at the beginning of this year, do I think the 49ers could get to the NFC Championship with Brock Purdy, I'd have told you no.
Right.
So it's hard to say you plug in Derek Carr and they're automatically going to the Super Bowl. Do I think they have a good shot? Yeah. Do I think that automatically puts them there? No. I wasn't.
Why is that? Because the NFC's so stacked?
No, it's just hard it's hard for me to with 100% certainty say, yeah, they're going to the Super Bowl. I think the best chance for them to go would have been to lure Brady, but I also think, we'll obviously talk about this a little later. I think him stepping away was the right move. I don't know. I don't know who you could get. It sounds like they're probably going to roll with Trey Lance. We said it was sad. We didn't think the kid obviously didn't get a fair shake with the injury. We wanted to see him be able to go somewhere and get a true shot. So maybe that is going to be with San Fran. And hey, maybe he's better than what we expect. We don't know. I think for him being a mobile quarterback with a knee now that has been
like
completely
6
reconstructed
games in 4 years.
I get that. And that's obviously a concern. Like I just said, it's obviously a concern too as a mobile quarterback having to have your knee completely restructured, like completely rebuilt.
I think,
is he a stand in the pocket and sling it kind of guy? Is that going to affect his mobility? Is he going to be able to still get out and make plays with his legs? We don't know.
Listen,
obviously
ACL,
MCL injuries.
I think if
San
Francisco stays in this thing with Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, then 2 things are going to happen. Halfway through the year, they're going to be begging, calling Tom to come out of retirement, which I don't think he's going to do. I think he is done. And then what's going to happen is they're going to waste their opportunity. Listen, San Francisco doesn't have the luxury of letting a rookie quarterback figure it out, or a guy that hasn't played but a handful of games in 4 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. They don't have a roster for that. I mean, like,
they have a win now roster.
Yeah. I mean, George Kittle, who I love, has been injury riddled the past. I mean, how much longer you think he's going to be around? Debo was already complaining about the abuse. Christian McCaffrey, I love him, but he's been injury prone his whole career.
He's taking a beating.
Trent Williams has been in the league like 14 years. Like, the window is now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think if you're going to be that bullheaded instead of swallowing your pride, and I love Kyle Shanahan. I think he's the best offensive mind in the game. But if I'm the best offensive mind in the game and I have the best roster, which I believe San Francisco has the best roster in the league, how I can say the most important position, I feel more comfortable with Trey Lance coming off surgery and not playing than I do with Derek Carr or trading for a Cousins or trying to figure out something for a Rodgers or, I tell you what, after today's events, Lamar Jackson should be telling his agent, I refuse to play for an AFC team. I don't care who it is. Get me traded to the NFC.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Derek Carr should be saying the same thing. The Jets, no thank you. Ship me somewhere to the NFC. Have you seen that over there? Mm-hmm. I got to beat like Philly, and that's it.
Yep. Yeah, the AFC as a quarterback right now is not where you want to be. It's just too much. I mean, the AFC stacked the NFC quarterback.
I mean, San Francisco would be better with Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It would. Yeah. I know AJ's laughing at me, but you're going to tell me Trey Lance is better than Ryan Tannehill? No way.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be interesting to see where some of these quarterbacks, what these teams do, where these quarterbacks fall. I think Rodgers ends up staying with Green Bay. Unless they're just so stupid that they think Jordan Love is the future. Said nothing against Jordan Love. Probably a great kid. Just saying.
Listen.
He's not the future for the Packers.
I predicted the Minnesota Vikings would run away with the division. I was correct this year.
You were.
I'm entitled to change my opinion before opening weekend of the NFL next year.
Okay.
However, as things stand right now on February the 1st, my bold prediction next year, the Detroit Lions will win the NFC North and will be playing in the NFC Championship game.
Bold.
In case anybody was wondering, plus 2,800 to make the NFC Championship game.
Well, hey, I had a good prediction on the next one. The Broncos are hiring Sean Payton. Get that man a winter coat. Let's go to the cold weather. Let's get after it, old Sean Payton. He's a warm weather guy. Yeah, there's this thing called heat. He's fine.
Two things.
This one was on the board, right? Didn't we bet a bottle on
Two
this
things.
one? I feel like.
You guys were right, but...
What was that? Hold on. Let me hear it again.
You and AJ were correct.
It sounds so good. One more time, just for the record. Ooh, do it again.
Y'all
do it
were
again.
correct.
Do it again. Give me one.
Y'all were correct.
Very nice.
However, there is a stipulation. Let's be real. He turned down the job. Hold on. He turned down the job. Then Jim Harbaugh turned down the job.
Yep.
Then Dan Quinn turned down the job.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So did Damico Ryans.
Damico Ryans didn't even meet with him.
Yeah.
And out of desperation, they threw the kitchen sink and some ownership when he's done into the mix.
And a pair of mittens.
Okay? So I don't believe Sean Payton took this job because he thought it was the best fit for him. I think he took the job because there does come a point where money talks.
Yeah.
Okay? However, I'll tell you this. He's flirting with being the offensive genius. And the guy that's on the biggest hot seat in the whole NFL is Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Because if he doesn't have a bounce back year and the Denver Broncos don't make the playoffs, I don't know how they get out of that contract, but his career is over.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd 100%
because
agree with that.
I think Sean Payton will save himself before he will try to prove he's the guy that can get Russell Wilson back.
Yeah,
I think it's a 1-year clock. Now, with that being said,
should have kept Drew Lock.
Drew Lock blows, dude. Would you get off everything Missouri?
No,
if he was that, he couldn't beat out Geno Smith for a starting job. For Christ's sake.
Saying, would or would not the Broncos organization be in a better place today if they play one more season with Drew Lock and then go get their quarterback?
They've given up so many draft picks
that's
between Wilson and
I'm
Sean
talking
Payton.
about.
They've mortgaged it all.
I'm not talking about Drew Lock being the future of the Denver Broncos, but would the organization be in a much better place today with him than they are with Russell Wilson? Yes. They wouldn't have given up all the picks. They'd be in a better spot to go get their quarterback of the future. The Russell Wilson trade was stupid. We see that now. Hopefully Sean Payton can fix him, but I'm not convinced. I'm not. We'll see.
Broncos finish second in the division next year?
No.
You don't think so?
Nah, I'd say Chargers.
So Broncos finish third?
Third. Raiders fourth.
So Josh McDaniels gets fired then after next year.
I mean, who are you going to get to come in and play quarterback if you don't have Derek? Like, who are you going to get?
Well, that's what I've said with the Raiders the whole time. Okay, yeah, you want to move on from Derek Carr because he's a good quarterback, but the fit, I get it. You got to change something. But again, who are you going to go get?
Who are you going to get? That's the problem. I don't see there being someone the Raiders are going to plug in and all of a sudden they're going to jump up the table.
The leading candidate's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
To reunite with Josh McDaniels.
Maybe.
That's what came out after the Brady news was Jimmy Garoppolo is now the front runner to be the Raiders quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, I still probably put the Chargers second, and then I guess it's a toss-up between the Broncos and the Raiders.
Well, I don't know if I put the Chargers second because they got Milo and Otis, Bert and Ernie.
That was my next one. Kellen Moore going to be the Chargers OC. How you feel? Your boy Kellen. getting another job real fast. Did he even have to interview for that one, or did they just give it to him?
Don't call that damn guy my boy, because this is going to be like locking two retards, excuse my French.
Whoa, can't say that.
Closet
I need to
within
cut that,
a Rubik's Cube, because Kellen Moore and Brandon Staley are two of the most overrated, dumbest minds in the game. And to put them on the same sideline is going to be an absolute disaster. They are
squandering
this
Herbert's
Charger
career.
thing. You say they finished second. I say they finished last.
Really?
Because at some point in time, coaching has to matter. And here's another
matters.
thing.
I just think Herbert's really good.
I don't understand why everybody keeps acting like Kellen Moore is the second coming of the Apostle Paul, for God's sakes. What has he did? I mean, he wasn't even good enough to play quarterback in the NFL. He held a clipboard. So all those years of holding a clipboard, and then all those years of an offensive system, and now all these years as an offensive coordinator, all the talent he's had, and he's gotten one playoff win against the demised, horrible, beat-up Tampa Bay team?
Here's the thing, too. Did you hear? So next year, Jerry Jones said McCarthy will be the play caller. So obviously, they really didn't like Kellen Moore calling plays in Dallas. McCarthy's going to take over.
Remember this.
That should tell you everything you need to know, folks.
All my winners out there, February 1st, 2023. The Los Angeles Chargers. This is it. This is the final.
You're probably right.
Decapitation. Bringing Brandon Staley back instead of hiring Sean Payton ruined Justin Herbert's career. This will now finish him off because he's got to listen to two guys that don't even deserve to be coordinators, much less damn head coaches.
Not wrong.
I mean, can you imagine somebody like a Khalil Mack sitting in a meeting with those two buffoons and realizing, how can I be smarter than all the coaches on this staff?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, both of them, buffoons.
I saw that hire, and all I could do was laugh. I'm like, I'm sure John is loving this right now.
For the first time since Joe Gibbs came back for the second run, I can honestly say Washington didn't make the dumbest move of the offseason so far.
There's still time.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, they kept Ron Rivera.
The Sean Payton thing got ruined. I really thought Bezos was going to hire him March 1st. God.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah. I think we had a bottle on that, though. I need to have AJ check that. We talked a little bit about
Staley. Jesus.
So how do you think the AFC West ends up then? What's your ranking if you had to rank the 4 teams?
Well, the Chiefs win the division, no doubt. I mean, unless Mahomes was to go down, but God, even if he went down, I still think they could win the division with Chad Henne.
You're probably not wrong.
I know I'm not.
Anything is possible. All right.
I think Denver finished second in the division. That defense was really good, dude.
The defense is good.
I mean, look,
it's all going to come down to Russ.
I mean, Patrick went down early. Patrick, Sutton, Judy. There's too much there in Denver to work with. Yeah. There's just way too and even the tight end's not bad. I mean,
that's why we were shocked at how bad they were, because a lot of people were picking them. We talked about this when we broke down that division. A lot of people were picking them to win the AFC West.
This is probably going to poke you wrong, and I'm not meaning for it to, so don't go on a tangent.
You love to.
But if you take Kelsey and Mahomes out of the equation, Denver's got a way better roster than Kansas City. Receiving core is just as good, if not better. The running back is better. The offensive line, about even, but the defense is way better. You just happen to have a first ballot Hall of Famer in Chris Jones. Outside of Chris Jones, the Broncos, I mean, look how many points the Broncos defense gave up, and they were on the field a long time.
Yeah, their defense is good. I think the Chiefs' defense is going to be better. I think they got a lot of young talent.
And Mile High still has a home field advantage, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
thin up there.
The reality is if Russell Wilson, he doesn't even have to get back to Seattle days. He just needs to not competent. Screw things up.
Right. Yeah.
And I think Payton will do that. He'll lean on the running game. He'll keep things short passes, a lot of slants and stuff like Drew Brees did in New Orleans. So I'm going to say Denver finishes second. The Chargers will probably finish third, but I'm going to say they finish last just because I can't stand Brandon Staley, Kellen Moore, the ground they walk on.
Yeah, you don't like them. All right, we talked about this next guy a little bit. Damico Ryans is the new head coach of the Houston Texans. How do you feel about this one? Yeah, good hire. Good hire.
I love it. The best hire of the offseason so far, even better than Sean Payton. The Texans got the right guy. You know, we talked about this on the last episode. I don't know if you were here. Maybe it was the last episode with you. There are certain guys that fit with certain teams perfectly.
Yeah.
Damico Ryans is the perfect fit for the Texans. He played there. He's a great player. He's a great D coordinator. I think he's smart enough that he's going to put a great offensive coordinator around him.
Yep.
And the fact that he got them to agree to a 6-year deal to me is huge. Because, again, Damico Ryans could have had any job he wanted.
Yeah.
Right? So for him, again, if you're Houston, and I even tweeted this out, okay, Houston, here's the deal. You got to give him more than 1 year like you did the previous two coaches. Because Houston, this is a 2-3 year project. However, if Houston can draft the right quarterback, Chop, they got a lot of cap space.
Yep.
And he's instantly going to make that defense top 15 just by his presence. I believe he's that good.
Yep.
In 3 years, 2-3 years, that team's in a while. I got some kind of little pecker net going around me. I mean, in 2 to 3 years,
Jesus Christ.
Houston, you've never seen pecker nets, like when a dog rolls over on his back and these gnats are all around his
probably all the
thing?
crumbs from all the snacks you've been eating in that office.
It could be. I've been busy in here.
Busy
time of the year.
Yeah, clean up.
I mean, I think he could be. I think Houston is knocking on the playoff door in 2 to 3 years for a wild card.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, we talked about it. I think that the team has a lot of potential. They were in every game, really. I mean, people weren't blowing
talent.
People weren't blowing the doors off the Texans. Like, they were hanging around. So I think there's a lot of potential there. They're young. They're very young. Now, you get a top 2 pick. So you have to go find your quarterback of the future.
Yeah, you can't miss.
No, you got to hit it. So,
and here's probably the hardest thing. And again, we'll get into draft coverage and all that in the combine. We'll have all your inside information for that, folks. So keep listening. But if you don't feel good, like you got the guy, whether it's Stroud, Richardson, Levis, Bryce Young, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of hype. I'm here to tell you, I don't think we're mentioning any of the 4 as Pro Bowl quarterbacks or playoff quarterbacks ever in their careers, except maybe Will Levis, because I go back to prototype, right?
Right.
I just don't think none of these 4 guys got it. If I was going to draft one, it would be Levis.
Yeah.
I would not draft Stroud. I would not draft Bryce Young. I would not draft Richardson. Yeah. I just don't see it, right? Like, I see it in Bryce Young, but his size worries me. Stroud and Richardson, I get it. Big kids, big arms. I just got doubts. I just got doubts. So, you know, if you're not sure, you got to trade out of the pick then.
Yep.
And get a mid-first, add some receiver, the receiver out of TCU, Thompson.
Yeah,
heck, I mean, really, if you could parlay it into 2 first-round picks and get Thompson, the receiver out of TCU, and Addison, the receiver out of USC, at least you got your burners straight. Now you can just, maybe you roll with a veteran quarterback for a year or 2 until, because you're going to be back in a top 10, top 15 pick, right?
What about Derek Carr to Houston?
Nah, not bad.
Not a bad move.
Again, if I'm Derek Carr, a lot of people are saying Jets or Colts. Look, again, Carr, Lamar Jackson, they should be telling their agents, I don't care. I want to go to the NFC. Send me to Carolina first. Right? Yeah. I mean, look at that division. You could win it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, well, why mess around?
Who's going to be the quarterback of the Bucs?
Well, look, the Bucs are in a lot of trouble. The Bucs
seems like most of the NFC teams are in a lot of trouble.
Well, look, the Bucs made the same deal with the devil that the Rams did. It paid off. It got you a Super Bowl, but now it's time to pay the piper.
Yep.
The Bucs
suck for a while.
Well, not just that, they're just cap strangled. The Bucs are gonna have to. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, one of them's got to go. That defense where you got David and all them guys, somebody's got to go.
Cheap quarterback like a Baker Mayfield.
What, to run it back?
No, just to make you competitive for a bit. I mean, they're gonna have to rebuild the Bucs.
No, if I'm the Bucs, I tear it all down now because you got tradable pieces. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Vita Vea. Like, they got tradable pieces. They could get a bunch of draft picks and reload quick. All them veterans and all those, they got head pieces.
Coach, though.
And you don't have the head coach. So your best bet.
And you don't have the offensive coordinator either.
No. I mean, they were interviewing University of Georgia's head offensive coordinator for that position. I don't
Where's
like
Byron
that.
Leftwich going to end up?
Man, I think they held him out to pasture. Again, I think the wrong guy got sacrificed. But whatever.
I don't think Eric Bieniemy is going to get a job either.
As what, head coach?
I don't know if he's going to leave Kansas City to be an OC somewhere else.
He needs to. If he ever wants to be a head coach, he's got to go be an OC somewhere where he can prove he's the guy and it's not Andy Reid. And look, there's places, right? There's places he could go.
Oh, there's tons of opportunity.
He could go to Washington because now the Sean Payton thing ain't going to happen, so that's safe, right? Heck, he could go to Dallas.
Yeah.
Right? He could go to Houston with Damico Ryans.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
And build something there together.
Yeah.
Okay? That's not a bad... the Colts, I have no idea what the Colts are doing. I have no idea.
They don't know what they're doing.
I mean, the whole Colts thing's a disaster.
Why wouldn't they hire Bieniemy? I don't understand the logic.
Well, I mean, he's the best thing left. Either him or Brian Flores. But Irsay ain't going to put up with Flores because Flores will tell him to go kiss it. Now, the Arizona Cardinals are funny to me.
They're in trouble, too, because they're not even going to have Kyler for the first half of the season.
Because I think Brian Flores is the perfect fit, but I don't think they're going to hire him. Bieniemy to the Cardinals. Why not?
Yeah. Is he going to want to put up with Kyler? I think Kyler Murray is going to keep a lot of people from wanting to go there and be a coach.
Did the Ravens hire an OC yet? Did I miss that?
Not that I've seen, but I could have missed it.
Eric Bieniemy to the Ravens if they bring Lamar back. Even if they don't bring Lamar back, the Ravens need a new identity. This whole ground and pound the ball, they need to change that. But, I mean, it'll be interesting for sure.
All right, we'll touch on the next one before we close out our football with obviously the biggest news of the day. But Tua clears concussion protocol finally. So he is cleared, ready to roll. Season's over, but he's ready to go.
Look, I've said it and I've said it and I've said it.
I worry about him, man. I
like Tua a lot. It's only it has nothing to do with his abilities. Tua has the ability to help a team hoist the Lombardi.
Absolutely.
The right pieces.
100%.
The problem is Tua is going to have to prove to me he can play all 17 games in the playoffs, and I just don't see it.
Yeah.
And again, Miami's on a clock. So, I don't know. I just feel like they're on a clock.
Yeah, I would agree. I think obviously the question is, can he stay healthy? And I get he's cleared concussion protocol. But what's the long-term lasting effects from the 3 concussions that he's taken just this year?
Well, and most guys clear concussion protocol in what, a week? 10 days max?
Yeah,
I mean, it's been 6 weeks.
But he's
6
taken
weeks, Chop.
Yeah, we talk about he's taken 3. I mean, he's taken 3 really significant ones. I mean, we're not talking about, I don't necessarily know if there's a mild concussion. Maybe all concussions are serious, but yeah, he's, I mean, that was the question mark for me. Can he stay healthy? Are there long-lasting effects? If he gets popped again, you hear this from people. I remember listening to Dale Earnhardt Jr. talk about obviously the concussions that he had in his career, ended up cutting his career short. And how when he was going through, I think it was University of Pittsburgh, when they were, after that really bad one, the last one that he had, trying to get him back to where he could get in a car again. And the doctor was talking about, when you take one, it's easier to get another one. And every one you take, it just makes it easier to get the next one.
Look,
because there's so much trauma and scarring to the brain that every one you get after that, it's that much easier.
Again,
so he's taken 3 bad ones this year.
I don't question Tua's ability.
No.
I definitely don't question his character. I love his family. I love his character.
Absolutely.
I love his leadership. I would have drafted him. I'd draft him again 10 times over. And I hope I'm wrong.
Yep.
Just if I'm the ownership or the general manager or the head coach, I'm scared. Because here's the reality. If Tua goes down, all those toys, all those weapons, it's like San Francisco, except San Francisco doesn't have a good quarterback, it's over. It's over for the Dolphins.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, because Teddy Bridgewater will never get it done. He never has been able to. And Skylar Thompson is what he is. He's probably a serviceable backup one day.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But he's not going to be a Colt McCoy backup that has started a few years and can come in for 2 or 3 games and light it up. Or a Chad Henne who started a couple years, can come in and do what he needs to do, right? Like, the Dolphins, I just worry about, because if Tua goes down, that's it. It's over. It's a wrap.
Yep. I agree. All right, we'll talk about the big news of the day. Tom Brady has officially hung it up. I know this was a very difficult and sad day for you. Man, what a career. I just want to go through some of the career stats, but also, I wish him all the best in retirement. I feel like, we can always kind of say after the fact, should he have just hung it up before this year, right? But what a career he had. We will never see anything that comes close to it ever again. You'll never see a quarterback win 7 rings. You'll never see a quarterback be that dominant for that long again. What we got to witness with him was, I believe, the greatest quarterback we will ever see, especially, in our lifetime. I don't see who tops that. I don't see another quarterback getting to 10 and winning 7. I don't see that. So hell of a career. Just going through what he ranks first all time. Wins 251, 15 Pro Bowls, 5 Super Bowl MVPs, 7,753 completions, 12,050 attempts, 89,214 passing yards, 649 touchdowns. In the postseason, 20 appearances, 48 games started, 35 wins, 10 Super Bowl appearances, 7 wins, 1,200 completions, 13,400 passing yards, 88 touchdowns, 14 game-winning drives in the postseason, 9 fourth-quarter comebacks.
Couple more to add to that. He has 30, I thought it was 36 postseason wins.
So that's 35, but
okay. Let's go with 35 then. But 35, do you know who second place is?
No, I don't.
It's Joe Montana. Do you know how many postseason wins Joe Montana has?
Like 16?
16.
16. See, hey, I know some stuff.
Just think about that for a minute. First place is 35-16. We talk about Pat Mahomes, who I think is the best quarterback in the game. He's got 10.
No.
That means for Pat Mahomes to tie Tom Brady, he would have to, it's 3 games if you get a bye. If you get the bye, you still got to play 3 games to win the Super Bowl. He would have to win the Super Bowl 10 years in a row as the number 1 seed to tie him.
Yep. So I say it'll never be. It'll never be done.
Just put that into perspective.
Yeah.
I tweeted this out earlier because I heard it this morning when I was in the gym. He made the championship game, whether he was AFC or NFC, he made the championship game 70.8% of his career. That is higher than any quarterback's completion percentage all time.
Yep. Incredible.
All time.
Yep.
And then the greatest thing, as I was just thinking about his greatness, and yes, I got emotional because he got emotional. And
yeah, I watched that first thing this morning, and I will admit I got a little emotional, right? Because I've watched Tom Brady for a lot of years, right? And I feel like he's one of those players we did get spoiled with him just being so dominant. And sometimes when he played my Chiefs, it pissed me off. But you have to be able to appreciate just what he's accomplished. I mean, if you're a fan of football, you cannot sit there and say, I'm a football fan, but I don't like Brady. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can be a fan of
a lot
the
of
game.
people do it out of hate, but when they truly look back at it, they're going to be mad that they didn't appreciate the moment for what it was. And you know, a couple of people are talking about, and you said it, I maybe should have let go last year. Look, when you play the game at a certain level, there's a responsibility I think you feel. And then there's another part of it is, you know, nobody saw this coming. You know, last year he was going to retire. Somehow Schefter got a hold of it, leaked it. Brady was pissed because, again, he likes to do things his way, and he's earned that right. And absolutely. I thought today was typical Tom. Yeah. Nobody sees it coming. Nobody knows. Just his video, right?
Yeah. Which I thought was it was kind of a perfect ending, right? There wasn't all the pomp and circumstance because that's not who Brady is. He doesn't really want all that. No. It was him sitting there by the ocean, I'm going to give it to you straight. Yeah. This is how I want to go. And
he's always been authentic.
Yeah. To me, the way he got to do it this time was him. Yeah. It was on his terms.
And so I don't think he played a year too long. I think what happened is, you know, Kraft had his wedding. Brady missed the Saturday walkthrough this year to go to a wedding. You just get to a point in time, and look, trust me, I know this as well as anybody that has kids. They're such a blessing, but it's really hard to balance.
No,
I mean, it's really hard. And when you look at him, you're looking at putting your kids in schools in Miami. They're going to stay in Miami. So for him, look, I'm probably going to wind up in one of two places, San Francisco or Vegas, on the other side of the country.
Yep.
And I just don't think he was. Look, he has sacrificed so much. And again, you know, it's like me. I'm not a LeBron fan, but I'm not going to deny what he's giving us right now, or deny that I'm never going to see, kind of like Brady, the longevity, right? Yep. And you have to appreciate that because you don't know when you'll see it again. You might not see it in this lifetime. Yep. Like, I feel pretty comfortable saying, and I feel like, man, I've just been truly blessed, right? Because I got to see the end of Montana. I got to see the end of Elway. I got to see Bird, but I saw all of Jordan's career. I got to see all of Tiger Woods' career.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I can't even fathom the thought of anybody coming close to what Tiger Woods did.
No, it won't happen.
I got to see Serena Williams' whole career. I mean, I can't fathom the thought of there being a woman tennis player that dominates the way Serena Williams did.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with Brady, but I think Brady's is the most impressive of all because in all the others, a lot of it's individual, right? Even basketball sometimes is a lot of individual. You had to do this with a team in a sport where the salary cap is detrimental to every franchise.
Yeah.
And he literally, I mean, outside of the Randy Moss year, where they, oh, by the way, went 18-0 till they got to the Super Bowl. I mean, he finally gets a receiver and he goes 18-0. Just saying.
Yep.
Other than that, it was only Gronk.
Yeah.
I mean, Julian Edelman, nobody wanted him. Wes Welker, nobody wanted him. Danny Amendola, again, a bunch of short white dudes that weren't fast.
With Brady, I think for me, Brady and Jordan are up here, up top, above everybody else, because of that innate ability to make everyone else around them better.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan did the same thing. He made everybody, they may have called him an asshole, they may have not liked him, but he elevated everybody else's ability when he was on the court with them. And Brady did the exact same thing. I mean, his entire career, he was throwing to guys we had never heard of before. And we joked about it. He picked them up at the local supermarket. Everybody he stepped on the field with, he elevated them to the next level. And I think that's, for me, why I put Jordan and Brady up there together on the top of the mountain. And everybody else will forever, in my opinion, be chasing those two.
Yeah. You know, the last thing, and I can't even take credit for this. Shout out to First Things First and Nick Wright, actually. They had
Nick Wright.
Yeah, old Nick Wright. Nick Wright, Broussard, those guys, man. Kevin Wildes, I love them. Wish they were on early in the morning because it was easier for me to watch then, but they had the best thing, and I don't know which one of them put it together, but they broke it down as to where Tom Brady had 3 Hall of Fame careers in one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that what they did was, and it was Nick Wright that went through it, right? But he was like, from whatever year to whatever year, like the first half of his career, they had all the stats, numbers, Super Bowls, and it equaled what Troy Aikman did.
Mm-hmm.
And then the middle of his career, they had like a 5-6 year time frame, and it matched all the stats. That was the time they went where they didn't win any, like, because he went like 10 years without getting back to a Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in that time, his numbers were the same, appearances and all, of a Dan Marino. So there was another Hall of Fame career.
Mm-hmm.
And then what he did in the last 6 years of his career had more wins, more Super Bowls and all that than Joe Montana.
Yeah.
So in these short spans, he had the whole career of Troy Aikman in like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
He had the whole career of Dan Marino in like 6 years, and he had the whole career of Joe Montana in 6 years.
Yeah.
And look, Montana, Marino, well, I still think Montana's top 3. But Montana, Marino, and Troy Aikman, I don't care who you put up there. Those 3 are in the top 10 of everybody's list, or you don't know a darn thing about football.
Yep.
So you had 3 Hall of Famers career numbers in short segments in your 20-year career. Like, so it wasn't like there was just this one long Hall of Fame career. No, he did what other guys accomplished. He did in 4 years, 6 years, 5. Like, it was just crazy. And shout out to First Things First, that graphic they put up. It was just crazy. I was like, man, I knew he was great. I'm his biggest fan. I'm his biggest supporter. But then when you're seeing all them numbers, you're just like, dear God. Like, to think Pat Mahomes would have to get the 1 seed and win all 3 games, including the Super Bowl, for 10 years in a row to get to pass Brady by like 2 is insane.
Yep. It is.
Just
That's why I
insane.
say we'll never see anything like it ever again. Like,
and again, it wasn't like he was surrounded by these great skill players,
but he made everybody else better.
And he worked harder than anybody else. And that's the thing more than anything, folks, is, you know, I know it's so easy to say it, and I've really tried to reset my mindset over the past year, but there is nobody holding you back in this world but you. I mean, look at what he looked like at those combine photos and that 40 he ran. Nobody gave Tom Brady anything. He didn't even have God-given ability. He really didn't. He just willed himself to be great. And anybody can do that if you're willing to put in the work. But look at what he sacrificed to do it. He has sacrificed everything for 23 years. A lot of people aren't willing to do that. Kobe was willing to do it. Jordan was willing to do it. Tiger was willing to do it. Serena was willing to do it. Brady's willing to do it. You know what I mean? That's how
it's
they
a big
get that
ask. Like
it's a big ask. It's a huge ask, but it just a great day, but a sad day, because I don't think they spent so much time hating the Patriots that I don't think people really grasp, you know, somebody else posted some on social media, the end of an era. Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers. Other than Rodgers, that whole crew's gone.
Yeah.
And that dominated. And don't get me wrong, I think we got some exciting guys, right? Mahomes, Burrow. I'm a big Trevor Lawrence guy.
Allen's still damn good too.
Allen's still good. You know, Herbert. I still got faith in Lamar as long as he's not in Baltimore.
Yep.
Jared Goff is making me more and more of a believer, right?
NFL is going to be exciting for a very long time.
Yeah, but I just wonder if you'll see. And then again, just one more thing before we get out the Brady thing. You know, yeah, he won a couple by field goals because he had to count these late drives. But think about it this way. They lost to the Giants because of an unbelievable catch, and Tyree was out of the league the next year.
Yep.
Then Manningham makes another catch on the sideline. Yeah. And then when they lose to the Eagles, he sets the Super Bowl record for most passing yards.
Yep.
And what people don't forget about that is the New England Patriots never punted in that game. They scored on every drive except the second to last one where he had the strip sack. Graham got him from behind. Yep. When he had a guy wide open and he was cranking it up. Like, just the way he lost, and you could say, yeah, well, what about the way he won? Like, it was him or Manning in every AFC championship game for like over a decade.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, it's like the joke I heard Brady make one time. If it wasn't for Mrs. Manning, I would have like 15 rings.
He's not wrong.
No. So just congrats to him, but man, a sad day for sports and football fans.
Yeah. Congrats to him and his, he gets to spend time with his family now, which I think is extremely important, right? Family's the most important thing. We talked about it on here before. And that $375 million Fox contract ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Now, how long before he hops in the booth?
I think it's next year.
You think it's that quick? You don't think he takes time? Because here's my fear. Well,
Fox has the Super Bowls this year. They've already said he won't be on that. I would say he may take a year.
Yeah, I would like to see.
He's got a lot of other things going. He's got some businesses and he's got some other things too. So he's going to be busy.
Well, yeah, and I guess my thing is, I remember when Kobe retired, he backed away completely.
Yeah.
Because he just couldn't. Again, I don't think we understand what it's like to be a competitor like that.
No, I don't either.
And the mind shift change. You know what I mean? So I'd just like to see him take some time, but we'll see. He's going to be better than Greg Olsen. I think Greg Olsen stinks.
Yeah. I think he's going to be like, look, I could not stand Tony Romo as a player, right? Wasn't a fan. He's my favorite announcer to listen to. Him and Nance are.
Romo's been catching a lot of heat lately.
absolute perfection as announcers. And I think his football brain, the thing we love about listening to Romo announce, he's going to bring that to the booth as well. I think he's going to be great at it.
You know what I said the other day? Because they've had Gronk on these pregame shows.
Him and Gronk together.
I know everybody loves the duos, and they got Burkhardt. But make it like the old Monday Night Football. I want 3 guys.
Yeah.
Keep Burkhardt. I think Burkhardt actually could be the next Jim Nance. I think Fox has a gym with Burkhardt. His excitement, But I want to see Brady and Gronk in the booth together every Sunday, calling a game.
That would be hilarious.
I mean, how great would that? Because Tom's going to give you all the Peyton Manning, Romo stuff.
And Gronk's going to give you the crazy shit.
Gronk's just going to be your Don Meredith. You know, like when Tony Dorsett breaks one on Monday Night Football, I'll never forget as a kid, and Don Meredith going, he's at the 30, the 35, the 40. Look at that son of a bitch go right on live television. And you just hear complete silence.
Yeah.
Right? Like Gronk would just be great at it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that would be a great combo. But yeah, congrats to Brady. He's going to have a great after football life. I mean, great family. Got more money than he knows what to do with. If you want to send it our way, we'll take a couple mil off your hands for you, Tom.
Podcast that you might be interested in investing in, my friend.
Hey, there you go, John.
It's called the TB12 Bustin' Chops and Calling Shots podcast.
No, we are not. No, we're not. Jeez. No.
We will both wear Brady jerseys every episode.
I will not.
To support TB12.
I won't do it.
I'll tell you what, he comes off a mill. Yes, you will. If I got to hold it down and staple it to your beard.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, but no. Incredible career. I think we were spoiled with it. Just the level of greatness. I mean, like I said, he broke my heart more times than I'd like to count. But you just have to appreciate what he was able to accomplish. I mean, hats off to him. You'll never see anything like it ever again. So it was special. What we got to witness, just like what we got to witness with Jordan and Tiger and Serena and even Kobe. I mean, what a career he had. Those are the
Kobe
types of,
never gets enough publicity for whatever reason.
Yeah, for me, Jordan's 1, Kobe's 2. I mean,
oh, absolutely.
I don't know how you argue that. For me, those are the top 2. But I don't, we get spoiled by witnessing these things, but you're not going to see this again. You're not going to see Brady again. You might see a quarterback have an incredible career, get 3 or 4 rings. It's still never going to top Brady. I feel like he's the GOAT forever, just like I feel like Jordan's the GOAT forever. I don't see anybody ever knocking those 2 guys off.
Yeah. And just to show how great he is, the reason that Pat Mahomes played as well as he did is he didn't do it on his own. He reached out to Tom this past week.
Tom reached out to him.
And
they become close.
Yeah. So, because Pat needs that. He's got a little too much Favre in him. I don't need him showing his Twinkie to everybody.
I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. I do think
like
that
an eclair.
I do think that as Mahomes' career goes on, because him and Brady have become close.
Why'd I even bring it up? God, I did it to myself.
No. I think in the way that you watch how close Jordan and Kobe became after Jordan stepped away, right? Jordan became that mentor for Kobe. Kobe talked about it all the time, how much Michael helped him.
Oh, yeah.
I think
that part.
I think Tom could do some of that for Pat. I do. I could see that being, Brady being somebody that Mahomes kind of leans on for those things, like Kobe did Jordan. And I think that's great. I'm not, trying to talk about Mahomes a ton, but I do think that you have that could help elevate Mahomes even more, just like I think it truly did help Kobe. Just a guy you can bounce things off of, a guy you can get advice from, a guy you can text at 1:00 in the morning like Kobe and Jordan used to do. Hey, what do you think about this? Or, hey, how about if we run this way? I think that just helps. I mean, look at what it did for Kobe. Look at his career and how incredible it was. So I think that's a great thing. And it'll be interesting to watch that as the years go on, because Pat's only 27. He's got a lot of years left. So be interesting to see how that affects that. All right, for you, man, happy early birthday, right? When the guys get this tomorrow.
You remembered. It is 12:04 Eastern time. So
happy birthday, baby. Has there ever been a year that I've forgotten?
No.
Nada. I'm normally one of the first ones that text you.
You know, as much as we go at it on here, you are my boy, Blue. I love you very, very much.
Happy birthday, big dog. Hope you have a great one.
It's not every day you get to turn 32, ladies.
I knew you were bad at math, but I didn't know you were that bad at it.
32. And holding for whoever comes through. Blonde, blue eyes.
32, but you got to take the 1 and carry the 3. But you do anything fun for your birthday?
Baby. What's that?
Will you do anything fun for your birthday? I wish you were here. We could celebrate, do something fun, but I'm on my way to old Walt Disney World tomorrow. So.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'll be there for the weekend. We're going with Chelsea and I are heading down there with another couple.
Florida?
Yeah, a couple friends. We're going to go for the weekend. So.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about this.
Yeah, so you and AJ will be on your own again on Sunday night. My apologies. I will be at the Magic Kingdom, probably watching fireworks.
Oh, man. Yeah, Lydia's beating me up. She wants to go again bad. So I'm
Hey, you let us know. We'll go with you.
Yeah,
it's fun, man. I think Disney, there's so much to do for kids, but I don't think people understand. There's so much to do for adults. They really do cater it to both.
Well, I heard Splash Down Mountain, they're got it closed. They're redoing it.
Yeah, for Princess and the Frog themed is what it's going to be. So,
yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm thinking maybe next September or October.
It's a good time to go. Just don't go in the summer. It's too hot.
No, I'm not going in the summer now.
It's going to be low 70s while we're there this weekend. Chance of rain, but yeah, wear a rain jacket.
Yeah, I'm not really doing anything. I guess going out to eat with the folks. And
there you go.
Lydia wants to take me to Texas Roadhouse. The only thing is, I think I'm paying, which is a little odd. We went to pizza tonight, me and her. We went down the Old Town Mall.
So she's doing you how you used to do with me. Hey, Chop, come on to dinner. We'll go to dinner, and then I get there and I got to pay.
Yeah.
So,
look, folks, there was
a time. At least it's payback somehow.
There was a time where Chop took care of me. But look, don't let him lie to you. I foot the bill for most of the stuff in our latter parts now when we get together. So,
most of the parts.
But I own him. He was good to me back in the day. He's always good to me. But yeah, I'm just going to do that and just try to pick winners, man. Just trying to
got a good week so far.
Yeah, 5-1 last night, 1-0 tonight with Xavier. Had to sweat that one out.
Went 2-1 Monday, right?
2-1 Monday. So
and Sunday was a good day for us.
6-3 Sunday with the double units. So yeah, things
How
are
about
rolling.
Those Kansas City Chiefs?
They did. They came through. I just wish the Purdy wouldn't have went down because San Francisco, I think, at least covers the 11.5. I don't think they win the game.
Yeah, well, the 2 fumbles in their own territory didn't do them any favors.
Yeah, and then not challenging the Devontae Smith, but whatever.
Because what Hurts throw? What did he throw for 120 yards? He didn't have
127.
lights out day. Yeah, something like that.
So, but look, you can't win them all. I'm happy about where we're at after tonight's money line win with Xavier. I knew the line was a little high, but I just didn't want to lay the points. So anyway,
they snuck that one out there. Had to go to overtime.
But it didn't. It should. If I watched the whole last 10 minutes plus overtime, it driving me nuts. But 258 games over 500 now. There's nobody walking that can say that. Is this where I can start in John's betting corner?
Yeah, I mean, I know you talked about wanting to talk about the Busch Clash, but we can.
All right,
let's talk about John's betting corner, and then we can talk a little on the Clash, and then head out of here.
Okay, so 258 games over 500. It's funny as I've been texting people some plays trying to get them on board. I love when they say stop and I go 5-1. And just so y'all know, I only get your number if you go to the website, Dumbo.
We only if you've given it to us already.
Yeah,
it's not like we're just
give us your number. Yeah. All right. I got a lot to do. I don't have time to sit there and filter through the phone book. Do they even still make phone books?
I think they do, but I'm not sure why.
Yeah, so let's get that straight right now. If I call you, it's because you filled it out and gave it to me, not because I'm going looking for you. But secondly, I had some people, and look, things come up, right? People Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that have lost their jobs. I was on the treadmill this week and saw where Fox News, CNN, they all had these major companies, Amazon, Microsoft. People are laying people off left and right.
Unfortunately, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I understand people lose their jobs and all that. But I want to say this. I think everybody needs to get out of the mindset that gambling is still taboo. Sports gambling on your own.
It's on every channel, everywhere.
Sports gambling on your own is reckless. And if you're in a bad financial situation, you should absolutely not be picking games on your own. Because you're going to lose money.
It's a true statement.
Look, I've told
we've
guys.
We've all done it. We've all tried it. It doesn't work.
Listen, I've told guys in the past, straight up, you want to know the value of me? Pick your own games. And then you call me
still
back.
Fighting that. Somebody.
Oh, dude, I don't know where this little pecker came from.
So much.
It hadn't been in here all day. I don't know what happened. So anyway, no, I got made.
You need a shower over there, Pigpen? What's going on?
No, I showered earlier. So, but if you want to know the value of me, just pick games on your own.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
Another guy said, the last week when I went 0-4, it's funny. I'm glad I don't pay for these. I've heard crickets out of him. He won't even answer the phone for me now, and I've still been sending him all the plays.
Yeah.
Right? So I sent him today. Look, I sent you free plays for a week. I got nothing else to prove. You call me, I'm not calling you. So what I'm trying to say is, folks, I get it. But again, everything with me is transparent. Whether it's on Twitter, it's on the website, you hear me talk. I am what I say I am. As Dennis Green say, I am who you thought I was, right? Mm-hmm. It's not a game. And, look, I think everybody, again, their interpretation of it is wrong. You can make a lot of money and protect yourself against hours getting cut at work. And I know you're like, but I could lose that money. Let me just ask you this. If you're in a bad financial position, because I had another guy today that said he couldn't afford the subscription. Okay. And so I said, well,
which is fair, man. It's tight out there.
It's tight out there, but
I went to the grocery store, put $150. I didn't get anything. I had like 3 bags, man.
No, it's tight out
tough.
there. But I went back to when the guy signed up. Since the guy signed up, I'm 195 wins and 128 losses with this dude. 67 games over 500. So my question would be, what'd you do with the money? Because 67 games, you made a lot of cheddar.
Yeah.
Okay? Again, my picks are never going to be the problem. Yes, January was a hard month. I think we picked up like 4 or 5 games, but like 4 point some units, whatever it is.
It was a rough month.
It was a rough month, but
playoffs were a little wonky.
We were still positive.
Yeah.
We were still positive, right? And so my thing is again, it goes back to what are you trying to accomplish and how are we trying to be financially responsible? Because the one thing you're never going to get from me is, hey, go bet 500 on this game, go bet 1,000 on this game. No,
we don't do that.
You're not going to get that.
No.
You're going to get real life stuff. But I got to know where you're at. And when you say, I'm afraid to lose money because I'm tight financially.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you this question. If you go spend it on McDonald's, once the money's gone, it's gone. Don't you need an avenue to make more money? I mean, it's really hard to get out of a financial position unless you have more money coming in. Well,
yeah.
I don't know a whole lot of companies that are giving raises right now.
Yeah.
So one of two things, you can either go pick up a part-time job or you can listen to what I'm trying to do and you can make it, or even better, you can do both and then get yourself on a financial plan to get out of the situation you're in.
Yeah.
Because I'm here to help people. Look, folks, I'm not being rude. I appreciate it. Shop appreciates it.
Yep.
Our staff that we pay appreciate it. But let's be real here. we ain't breaking the bank on subscriptions. Okay. And I don't mean that as a shot because I know it's your hard-earned money. But just think about at 67 games over in a 2.5 month span, if I was to tell you, Chop, $600, I'll get you 67 games over, you'd have to be an absolute idiot not to take that.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to call people out. I'm just saying.
Because I understand it when it comes to, especially given the times we're in, right? Everything's tight. And so I do get I do understand not wanting to gamble or bet. I mean, I can't say I don't get that mindset because I do. I mean, I get it.
So I guess let me ask you this. Has everybody taken all their money out of their 401k?
No.
Why?
I mean, some people, I can't speak for everybody. I don't know.
But I mean, is that a good move? Even
to take it all out?
It is right now. To take it all out. Is that a good move?
No, you definitely don't want to take it out now.
Okay.
We're not giving financial advice here, folks. So just
I am.
Clear that.
I am when it comes to sports gambling.
Okay, when it comes to that, just make sure we're not giving any stock or financial advice. That is not our lane.
No, well, what I'm trying to say, though, is you can't get out of your situation without making more money.
Not exactly. I mean,
not exactly.
You can
you try to find a way to go against me.
Well, no, because you can. I'm not trying to go against you. I would say I do understand, because when you're looking at a tough financial position, one of the first things you can do is cut expenses, right? So what expenses can I cut? So I do understand. I understand where everybody's coming from. Everybody's situation is different. So I do understand. The first thing you look at in a difficult financial position is, where can I cut, right? Where can I afford to cut? And that can help your situation, right? If I cut here, here, and here, okay, my situation can get a little better for the short or long term, depending on what that looks like. Yeah. So,
and then what happens if the short term lasts?
Then you keep riding it out, man.
And you just keep riding it out right into public housing.
I think that's
food stamp central. Here we
come.
I sleeping on a park bench.
Look. I love you. I am in awe of what you're able to do with picking winners. Like, it is insanely impressive. It really is. And for what you've been able to do for so long. But I do understand the flip side of it too. So I can't say that I don't understand that aspect of it. So I think you're great. Let's talk about
the Busch Clash.
I just think you're very passionate. And I love that about you.
Let's talk about the Busch Clash.
Sweet, sexy with your birthday coming up. Get it. Busch Clash. You're excited for this one.
I am. Actually, I am excited. You want to give us some stats?
I was skeptical about this event when they were like, we're going to go NASCAR race at the Coliseum. I was like, oof, but the event was actually really good last year, right? It turned out much better than I expected. I thought it was a lot of fun. I think, and obviously we're going to talk about more NASCAR here. I think the best thing that NASCAR can do is more events like this. Look, NASCAR is short track, beat and bang type racing. I think the problem with NASCAR over the last, since we lost Dale Earnhardt Sr., is we've gone the opposite direction of where NASCAR should have went, right? We've gone completely 100%. We have gone completely away from the roots of the sport and what made the sport so popular to begin with. The rules are ridiculous. They put these teams in a very, very small box of what changes they can make. The competitive advantages are moot anymore. They've really done a disservice to NASCAR. So seeing events like this come back, they're redoing Rockingham, which I think is great to have The Rock coming back. I think that's a great track.
I like The Rock.
These are the types of events and tracks that NASCAR needs more of. They need more of the short track, half mile, 3/4 mile tracks. The 1.5 mile, the restrictor plate tracks, Daytona and Talladega, we love to watch, right? Because it's basically a demolition derby at 200 miles an hour. Just is what it is.
Hey, when you and I went to Bristol, that was awesome.
Yeah, when they talk, I still have hearing problems from that. Like, we went to Bristol.
That wasn't Bristol. That was mom yelling when we were kids.
It could have been that too. They joke about Bristol. It sounds like you're flying fighter jets in the gymnasium. It is so loud, and you sit right on top. I mean, if you've never been to Bristol or seen pictures, it looks like the Coliseum, right? You're sitting right on top of the track, and this thing goes straight up all the way around. The sound has nowhere to go but into your ears. And John and I, we drove back home that night. Neither one of us could hear a thing. I couldn't hear for 3 or 4 days. I mean, it was that
thankfully
loud.
You went because you had to drive because I was working in a restaurant at that time.
I did. Remember we got those deep fried Oreos at that little stand outside the track?
Dear
so God, they were so good.
It was cold, though. We had a rain delay.
Yeah, leave it to the South to have everything delicious deep fried. That's what we're known for. Amen.
That and white tie.
Oh, God, yeah. So I think this clash, getting back to it, I know we got off topic. This is exactly what NASCAR needs. It needs to get back to its roots. It needs to get back to short track racing. You need to get back to fighting in the garage. You need to get back to beating and banging on one another.
My problem with the Busch Clash, though, is they can't pass.
I mean, you can move somebody out of the way a little bit.
Look, there's 150 laps, right? 3 guys led all the laps last year.
Yeah.
There's
Still
no
exciting.
passing.
Yeah.
Did you watch it? I didn't watch it last year.
I did last year. I thought it was good.
Did you like it? I mean, only 3 guys led laps.
I mean, I still thought it was good. It was that beating and banging side by side racing that I feel like NASCAR needs. And I hate this. So, did you watch Martinsville? Did you watch the whole thing with Ross Chastain, right? Trying to get into the playoff, went into turn 3. So, he literally, it's just like a video game. He is like 1-2 spots outside the transfer to make it into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so going into turn 3, he lays it against the wall, puts the throttle to the floor, and rides the fence along 3 and 4 to pass, I forget the guy he passed, and then to pass Denny Hamlin at the line to make it in the playoffs. One of the most badass things I've seen in NASCAR in years, right? Well, now NASCAR, you're not going to be allowed to do that anymore. Like, NASCAR is the fun police. Yeah, they ruin it. They have ruined the sport. They're
like a nagging wife.
Yeah. I don't know. My wife's great. I don't have a nagging wife. I'm very fortunate in that aspect. But they've ruined the sport. I hope that it can get back to its roots. I think events like this will help.
Agree.
But they really, really, really need to focus on this type of stuff. Like, you don't need to build another 1.5 mile track. It's the most boring racing ever. Like, we used to go to Charlotte twice a year as kids. I loved going down there. I loved it. Because the experience is great, right? We had the Coke 600. It was the World 600. Then it was the Coke 600.
And then it was Mellow Yellow 500.
Yep. A great experience. I mean, I went to my first race with Ford. Dad woke me up to watch Earnhardt win. Like, great experiences. But 1.5 mile tracks suck. It's usually the same couple guys. They get so far strung out. It's not even fun to watch. So,
yeah,
short track racing is what it needs to get back to. I mean, that beating and banging side by side racing. I think the Clash could be good for that. I think Joey Logano won last year.
Logano won.
Yep.
He's 8-1 right now.
But you like old Logano, don't you?
He's 8-1. Larson's 8-1. Chase Elliott's 8-1. Now, look, it's all going to qualifying is Saturday night and practice is Saturday night. So the race is until Sunday.
Updates.
Yeah, races until Sunday night at 8:00, but qualifying. So it's really hard to give out picks, mainly because, again, I think you got to start like all 3 segments. The guy that started the segment won the segment.
Mm-hmm.
Started first. So again, it's really hard to pass there. So it's going to depend on how these guys qualify out. But 3 guys that are catching my eye, obviously Chase Elliott at 8-1. I like him. And then the other 2, Tyler Reddick, he led the most laps there last year before his drive shaft broke there. He's 18-1. I think that's great value.
Mm-hmm.
And another guy that's great value, I feel like, is Ross Chastain at 14-1. I like him. And this one may surprise you a little bit, but it is Kevin Harvick's last year. Kevin Harvick, 25-1. I kind of like that as a long shot. So we'll see what happens. But right now, Chase Elliott, again, 8-1. Ross Chastain, 14-1. Tyler Reddick, 18-1. Harvick, 25-1. Those are going to be, that's my 4-pack.
Oh, there you go. Already dipping our toes into the little NASCAR.
Yeah, these aren't plays. These are just my personal, but again, you want to look at qualifying, see who qualified where, what practice is going. And then I'll post some after qualifying and practice. I'll post something late Saturday night or early Sunday before the race on Twitter. So you can check us out at BCCS Sports on Twitter, and I'll have them up there for the NASCAR.
Yeah, John, the Twitter genius. And we'll talk, obviously we'll talk NASCAR. I like Formula One. We'll talk a little Formula One on here when we get kicked off.
I won't, but you're more than welcome to.
I definitely will. They'll be unveiling cars. Haas, the American team, already unveiled what their car is going to look like this year. So we'll talk a little Formula One on here. We want to try to be
probably 4 wheels in a driver's seat. Am I close?
You're not far off.
Okay.
You're not far off.
Right.
But we want to make this a well-rounded show, right? We want to talk about everything.
Round like wheels. Again, 4 wheels.
And I'm working. I haven't forgotten about the soccer plays. I'm working, trying to put in some time.
I haven't forgotten about golf either.
English Premiership's what I've been looking at. I don't want to start talking about plays until I feel confident that I understand this, because the last thing I want to do is give out a bunch of losers. So, but I am working on it. We will talk some soccer, some English Premier League, and MLS when they start back up. So we will give you some soccer info too. So want to make sure we're giving you all the sporting news and information that you want and need on this show. So we're doing our work. We're doing our research. We're putting in the time.
For golf, the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, real quick in closing, I got nothing for that because, it depends on who you're playing with. And sometimes it isn't an all out kind of event, so to speak. But I do like, again, these aren't plays just, if you're dying to play golf. I do like Maverick McNeely at 17-1. Again, it depends on who they get matched up with. Matt Kuchar at 37-1. So those are the two I got my eyes on, but we'll see. Again, if I have anything, it'll be on at BCCS Sports on Twitter.
You got anything else?
No.
Any other little nuggets? Anything?
No, 258 games over 500. That should say all it needs to know. You want to make money? Get on with me. You want to be a loser? Keep picking games on your own. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know what else you want me to say.
I know. I like I said, I'm in all of what you do, what you're able to pick. It's impressive. It impresses me every day.
I'm only one mile.
That's why I text you all the time, tell you good job.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
All right, man. Well, tomorrow or today for you right now. Happy birthday, big dog. Go and do something fun. Drink a little whiskey. Get a little crazy, not too crazy. I can't bail you out while I'm headed to Florida. So
yeah, let's try to hang out at the local college here. See if
try to keep it together. I don't think that's the best. I don't know if that's what I would do if I were you. I think I'd just, get you a nice steak, pour you a nice tall glass of whiskey, stay away from the colleges, strip clubs.
Strip clubs ain't my thing, man. I make a lot of jokes, but I haven't been in one in so long. I just can't handle the rejection.
I've never been in one.
Ever. Strip clubs are just like being married. Fork out money after money after money. You get nothing out of it.
I don't think every marriage is like that. I hear what you're saying.
Well, maybe not ones in Disney movies. Hey, and you have a safe trip down there in Disney World.
In a Disney movie, don't I? I'll take it. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Flying with old Southwest. Hopefully the flight doesn't get canceled. So just want to make it there, and then have fun. Drink around the world at Epcot. I'll think about you the whole time I'm there. But happy birthday. I love you, brother. Thanks for everything you do on this show. I'm sure everybody we have appreciates John Boy's hard work. Throw him out a little happy birthday today. If you're listening to this, throw out something on social media. A little happy birthday towards John's way. I'm sure he would appreciate it.
Ladies, flash me all day tomorrow.
Dear God, please.
Even
don't.
the 80-year-old grandma.
No.
Take what you can get.
Jesus. All right, that's the show, everyone. AJ and John will be back with another one for God, awful visual. We'll be back with another one for you on Monday. I will be back next Wednesday to break down all things Super Bowl, Chiefs, Eagles.
We'll be going through all the props. Me and AJ will start on Sunday.
Start on Sunday, and then we'll do our game breakdown
like
on Wednesday.
350 props.
Dude, I'm stoked for this game. I'm stoked.
I'd be scared.
If the Chiefs can get healthy, old Mahomes can hoist Lombardi number 2. So I'm excited.
And he'll be the equivalent of Eli Manning then. Very nice. Hey, 2's hard to get, man.
2's very hard to get.
I mean,
Here's the thing, real quick, and then I'll stop talking about Mahomes.
Right now he's as good as Trent Dilfer and Mark Rippon.
Yeah, which is, hey, that's impressive company. If he gets 2 at 27, he'll probably play till he's 37, 38. What do we like his chances to get one more in the next 12, 13 years?
I think he ends up with 4.
Yeah. I could see that.
I think he plays in 6, wins 4.
Yeah. So this will be already number 3.
All bets are off the table if Andy Reid retires. But I don't think I think Reid and Mahomes go out together.
I would 100% agree. And I think Andy has kind of alluded to that. Like, I'm here as long as Mahomes is here. I think those two are together for the rest of Mahomes' career. Maybe the last couple years, but I think Andy's having too much fun. Man, he's got tons of energy. He's excited. He's smiling all the time. I think he's having too much fun to walk away while he's still got Mahomes. So I could see those two riding off into the sunset together. I really could. But, all right. Happy birthday, brother. Have a good one.
Thanks, man.
Everybody, have a great weekend. We appreciate you all so much for the support. Thank you. It means the world to us. We love bringing this show to you. We're going to continue to do it. So thank you for everything. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy. And we'll be back next week.
258 games over 500. Love you, my winners.